Baci Sospesi, un progetto di Barbara Sbrocca.
I've always viewed love as the search for the one. I'm currently 63, going on 64. I know I look much younger. I met my beloved 5 years ago, and I am an entrepreneur. I have for many years worked from home. Let's see, about 5 years ago in June, I had not started my air conditioners because I thought, it's too early, I'll just leave the balcony door open. And I was preparing for this podcast. And of course, for a podcast, you need to have quiet. And then all of a sudden, I heard this very nice music, but really loud music coming from my balcony. So I thought, okay, there's a car or truck out there. I went and took a peek and I thought, it's a truck. I've got 15 minutes. I have two choices. I can shut the door and turn on my air conditioning, or I can put on my sandals and go outside and find out if that truck is going to go away. I decided to go out and look at this truck that was there, and because it was a hot day, he had his air conditioning on and his windows rolled up. So I stood there just waiting, looking in through the window, waiting for this gentleman to look up and acknowledge me. I'm standing there like waiting, staring through the window. And then he realized I was there, and I think I scared the heck out of him and almost hit his head on the ceiling. And then and I'm a small woman. I'm like not even 5'2", I'm 155 centimeters. And he jumps out of his truck and he walks around, and I saw this. To me, it was like Greek god like appeared around the side of the back of the truck. He wants my number and he's trying to give me his card. So I took his card and I thought, well, first of all, I looked at him and I thought he was way too young. What happened was, during that summer, almost every Friday, he would arrive in my back alleyway and have his music blasting and and I would go out and wave at him, and he would say, when are you going to let me take you for one of the teas? When are you going to let me take you for dinner? When? And this was like June, July, August. I think I was 59 at the time, and I thought, he's just like way too young. Like, this is just never happening. But it was nice to have these exchanges. And so somehow in, I think maybe September-ish, we started having these interesting conversations, because I thought, like, for me, when I first saw him, I thought, well, he's a workman. I'm an entrepreneur. He's too young. There's so many, like, why I wouldn't go out with him. He loved the theater, and he loved opera and music and beautiful things. And he was interested in spirituality, which I, of course, have a very deep interest in. So I let him into my apartment, and he sat on the floor with my dog, and my dog liked him, and he walked over to my birds, and my birds liked him. And then we went for a walk. It was a beautiful night, and he's holding my hand, and then he's wrapping his fingers in between mine, and you could just see the joy on his face. We just had the best time ever. It was just such a passionate swirl of love and lovemaking. And 35 years younger than me. And what was funny is that after we started seeing each other in that November, I felt like every night when I went to sleep, I felt like I could feel him on my chest. I felt like I could feel him holding me, even though he wasn't there. The most we saw each other was maybe every week. Sometimes something would happen. He has some health concerns. He wasn't feeling well. And then I wouldn't see him for maybe a month or two. And during the first 3 months, it was almost painful when I didn't see him. But at the same time, I realized, I thought, well, he's with me anyway. Maybe he was the one I was looking for. All of those times I was looking out of the window. And maybe I was born earlier than him because I was anxious to find him and continued looking out that window for him. And then he just appeared because he tends to be late. Like if he says he'll be there at 1 o'clock, he's there at 2 or 3. He's just always perpetually late. It's just the way he is. And we have both come to a place of peace with this, because I think that how we both feel, like there's just such a deep, profound love that this is it. I have not been introduced to his parents or his family. In fact, I think I'm older than his parents. At the same time, this is what we have. And I think we both made peace with that we see each other when we can, and that we love each other anyway. Like if I can go out and about and I always know that I'm loved, does it matter that I physically see him? So whatever happens, like if I were to never see him again, I would be okay with that, because I feel that he is with me. And when I see him, every time it's like the first time I saw him. He scoops me up and twirls me around, and it's like a fairy tale, and it's just the loveliest thing. It's not just about, the fact that it's astonishing lovemaking where I truly feel like one with him. But the conversations and the connections, the way we feel, and, having, him fall asleep on me, and that just the security in the profound love that we have. And I guess that's why I don't reach out to him. I don't pick up the phone and phone him. I don't initiate. It's not that I'm not confident. I just wanted to give him space. He has often had relationships, because he's such a passionate man, where he's been so jealous. And he said, he says, you're beautiful, you dress well, and you're well-spoken, and you talk to everybody in the street, and you go everywhere. He says, but I have nothing to be jealous about. He says, it's how you make me feel. I can be literally walking across the street, not have heard from him by text or call, and know that all of a sudden he's hugging my heart. And it's physical how I feel. And I know it's him. So he's with me always anyway. Like there's nothing that I've ever experienced that has come close to that. To me, he's this, he's sexy and sensual, and we just click. But even if I never saw his face, never saw his body, never had, it was just the energy, I would recognize him. And that's why I'm okay with how I have become okay with the separation. Because at first, in the first 3 months, because I felt together with him, even when he wasn't there, I suffered. It was also suffering until I could make peace with the fact that he was always with me anyway. As he would say, this is what we have. They say, theory has it that in, these types of twin flame relationships, that we aren't always born in the same lifespan. So in some ways, I feel very lucky that even though there are 35 years apart, that at least we got born into the same lifetimes. So it's as good as it gets for the moment.
Baci Sospesi, un progetto di Barbara Sbrocca.